Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show, presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. It's wonderful to have you along for the ride. Yeah, dealer time. Starting back dealer time. Straight back from a little town called Puerto Rico. All right, an island. A lovely, beautiful island. Oh, it's wonderful. My wife and I went there 10 years ago. We're like, we got to get back here. Finally, we went. And it was spectacular. And I just got to say this. The only thing I'm going to really say about it is, like, yeah, there's a beach and it was great and people are fantastic and all that. We had a horrible experience, and I'm easy to please when it comes to the restaurant scene. Like, it doesn't take a lot. And I've never not tipped. I've never not tipped less than 20%, even in horrible service. Okay. We had a horrible experience at this one restaurant. And whatever. We still paid the bill, had a horrible time, whatever. I think the ladies are going to write a bad Yelp review, whatever. So then we went to another place, and we're a little pissed that was going to be our last dinner experience, right, of the vacation. And then it's always funny how things can just turn. We went to this bar, and there wasn't many people in the bar. We're like, hey, one last drink at a bar, right? Well, let's just get one last drink, okay? One last drink. We go out, little place down the street, and there's this dude. It's like a Mexican-themed bar. And there's this dude, like mariachi, single mariachi guy. And there's maybe 8 people in the bar, including me, my wife, and the other couple we were with, our friends. And this dude, okay, let me just tell you this. If you're going to do anything in life, all right, have the same type of flair, have the same type of absolute love and passion for what you're doing, like this single mariachi man singing all these different Spanish songs, including La Bamba, which is obviously it's one of my favorites. And I think he saw me mouthing the words. And next thing I know, I kind of heard my voice on the PA system he had. And he put the microphone. I didn't even realize it. I was watching, there was a game on. And I think the Mavericks game was on. And he had the microphone up to my ear, like, oh, La Bamba. You know? And this guy, 8 people in the bar, and he thinks in his mind, he's at Madison Square Garden. That was awesome. Like, that guy loved what he was doing. He was getting everybody involved. He was having himself a great time. And I'm like, what a turn of events. How horrible experience. It was one of those things where the food took so long and the waiter wasn't apologetic about it at all and act like we were the problem. And we looked around and saw that every other table was having the same type of thing. And then we looked on Yelp and saw that the place got terrible reviews. We're like, our mistake. Should have Yelped it. But anyway, we had a wonderful time other than that one experience. And I appreciate you guys being there Friday morning for the show. I did tape it as soon as I got back from Parks Casino last night. Or excuse me, as soon as I got back from Parks Casino on Friday morning. Taped it when I got back from doing the post-game show. And then, went to the airport, and that was that. And I appreciate you guys hanging in there. I assumed you guys would be a little suspicious when I started right on time. I literally hit go on the show, hopped in the Uber and got the hell out of Dodge. But it's good to have you guys back. Nice to see you. Once again, my name is Mark Farzetta, and this is the Farzy Show. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel for all your Eagles pre- and post-game needs. And make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel as well. So the 76ers suck at basketball. They'd have a hour-long meeting. It was more than an hour before Nick Nurse addressed the media after the Sixers imploded against the Miami Heat. If you watch that game, there might have been a sense of hope. And then that sense of hope, when they were up 19 points, and then the Miami Heat went on a 19-5 run, I believe it was, in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, it was over. The third quarter, it was an absolute wrap. And in the third quarter, Tyler Hero had 16 points. He had 18 points in the game, 16 of which came in the third quarter. The Sixers in the third quarter had 16 points as a team. And there's a couple of things I'm trying to figure out from this game. Maybe you guys can help me out here. Why the hell did Joel Embiid play? And this is going to sound like I'm knocking him. I'm not knocking him. Like, hey, he was ill, all right? He was doubtful to play. He did play, so he wanted to play, did play. He battled through. He tried to at least. Really didn't have much to offer, and he played 31 minutes in that game. Played 33 minutes, no illness, 31 minutes illness. If this is a guy trying to play himself in basketball shape, why when he's sick is he playing? Like, if there's ever an excuse to just be like, hey, just take it off, man. Not tonight, pal. I think that would have been last night. I would have rather him not play than watch him try to play basketball last night, because he didn't look anything like himself. Did not go into the paint much. His footwork was way off, lethargic. He looked like a guy who was too sick to play basketball. He looked like a guy who was trying to play himself into shape while being sick, trying to play basketball. That's what you got last night from Joel Embiid in his 31 minutes and 11 points. At least he had 20 the other night with 33 against the Orlando Magic. But last night against the Heat, I should not have seen Joel Embiid try to play basketball. I like that he tried to play, but that was pretty bad. The other thing, 24.4%. Okay. 24.4% from beyond the arc for this 10-9-8 76ers team. 24. The first quarter, Paul George had 12 points, finished with 18. What the hell happened? 1 for 7 from beyond the arc is kind of what happened. Jared McCain, who is still the Sixers' leading scorer on the night with 20 points, he went a little cold there in the fourth quarter. Everyone was pretty much going ice cold. Kyle Lowry, 0 points in the game in total. He started. Kelly Oubre came off the bench. You had Jared McCain, Paul George, and Joel Embiid. I'm going to look at that and go, hey, maybe they got a win in them. But no, what they have is a 19-point lead to blow in the game and then get blown out in the third quarter, 35-16, I believe, or 34-16. Whatever you get the idea. And they just hit a wall. And I can understand. Now, 2-11. I can understand. Yeah, maybe now it's time to have a little discussion. We'll let you hear from Nick Nurse a little bit later on what was going on in that meeting. We'll also let you hear from Nick Sirianni a little bit later in the show, because Nick Sirianni addressed the media yesterday. And a couple of things that he focused on. One was Saquon Barkley. And this is a conversation that we've gotten into many times before. Why don't the Eagles give the ball to Saquon Barkley after a long run? Why do they not just give him the football and let him punch it in? Why do the Philadelphia Eagles always have their quarterback put his head right over the line of scrimmage to punch it in? Now, I know that hasn't, knock on wood, been a problem. The Eagles have had a lot of success in that department, being able to run that tush push, the brotherly shove, the quarterback sneak, if you will, to punch it in for a touchdown. Why not give Saquon the ball? Let's not put the quarterback in harm's way. Give Saquon the ball, the running back, let him do his thing, and also give him that tutty. You know what I mean? He's the one that got you down there. Let him punch it in. Well, Nick Sirianni gave the best explanation. Yeah, he gave a really good explanation for why they really don't do that. And it was the first time I really ever heard him address it yesterday. There was a question from Zach Berman. Zach Berman asked the question. Then later on in that press conference, he was asked about Jalen Carter. Now, Jalen Carter is one of the highest rated interior defensive linemen in the NFL. And right now, through 10 games, we have seen Jalen Carter emerge as one of those top interior defensive linemen in the entire NFL. And just be every bit of a menace that we have wanted him to be since the Eagles drafted him. Now, we had some questions about his focus, his dedication, we had a little conditioning, how much he was dedicated to his craft. And this year, we have seen him really mature into that role. Now, my only question for a young athlete like this is whether or not he can keep it going. It's whether or not this is the bar. And coming out of this Washington game, and coming out of the Cowboy game, I needed to see whether or not he could maintain this level, this new bar that he has set. This is to use the Jalen Hurts word, this is the standard for Jalen Carter. And he has absolutely set that new standard, set that new bar for himself. And one of the things that is going to be really amazing is, of course, people are going to focus on Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and they're going to focus on Matthew Stafford and how Quinyon Mitchell, if he can continue the way he's been playing, and Cooper DeJean, if he can continue the way he's playing, and Darius Slay can get into the mix as well, and the secondary can play so well. Jalen Carter is going to be a huge factor in this, and we all know the reasons why. It's the tide. It's the moon affecting the tide is what it is. You have Jalen Carter forcing that pressure up the middle, hopefully getting Matthew Stafford off his mark and cutting down on the time that Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Darius Slay have to be in coverage, obviously. This has got to be another game where Jalen Carter is a menace and showing why he's one of the top interior defensive line. Pro Football Focus has him up there, of course. I just saw CBS Sports put out the rankings. I think he was the 6th best interior defensive lineman in the NFL, according to their rankings. I'd say that's pretty damn good. Well, Nick Sirianni, a ball was put on a tee for him to speak nicely about a player, and that player's name was Jalen Carter, and oh man, he 300 yards down the middle of the fairway. Old Nicky Sirianni did it in terms of complimenting his defensive tackle. So we'll let you hear from that. It was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Because it does show the dedication and all that. But all right, I want to start it off with this. I did watch, not while I was on vacation, but I did watch Paul versus Tyson. I just have one request, and I will talk about it more later, but one request. And I think they're doing it simply to troll us. You know, people that maybe are still, or at least one point, like myself, a very big fight fan. Historical fight. Historical fight. Tyson Holyfield, historic. Sure, absolutely. Marciano Lewis, historical. Lewis Schmeling, 1 and 2, historical. Holmes, Ali Frazier. I mean, look, the list goes on. I don't need to. Those are historical fights. This isn't boxing. This is a damn sideshow. This is purely entertainment. A 58-year-old man who, yeah, I would still not want to take a punch from. Okay. But the historical reference to this, please stop. You're trolling us, right? Like actual sports fans. Like I get the novelty of it. I get the sideshow attraction. I get the accident on the side of the road attraction. And look, don't get me wrong. As far as Mike Tyson goes, at 58 years old, even stepping into the ring again to fight somebody 30 years younger, whatever. Good God. What he did was incredible. And I'm watching it. I want to get more into it, but like his legs were gone in the second round. Third round, But as far as the historical reference to it, please stop. Can we all just band together as sports fans and make people stop calling that a historical fight? Please. By the way, shout out to the ladies in the previous fight. People were telling me that was a really good fight, so I made sure I watched some of that too, leading up to. I didn't watch it live, but I went back to watch some of that when I was going to watch the Paul Tyson battle. Rosie Perez is a commentator, though. I did love. She's like, why are they here? Oh, Billy. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about your 10-9-8-76ers, shall we? Good Lord. I'm watching this game last night, and I'm excited to be back in Philadelphia and having the game on and watching the Sixers, and I'm watching Joel Embiid to see whether or not he's going to play. He's listed as doubtful pretty much up until game time. And then I see I think it was from Keith Pompey of Inquirer.com and Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Put it out there. Oh, Joel Embiid's going to give it a go tonight. Here are the starters. And I see Embiid. Oh, boy. I see Paul George. I'm like, yeah, baby. And I see Jared McCain. I'm like, all right. You got Tyrese Maxey getting reevaluated. Tuesday, that's today. So you know that he's getting reevaluated the following day. I'm like, all right, let's get this going. Let's have a little party here. Let's go. Let's get it going. And the Sixers actually show a lot of signs of life for the early goings of the ball game. I was very impressed by what you saw by your Sixers in the first quarter of that game last night. You see him go up 33-25 after the first quarter. Like I said, Paul George had 12 points. Caleb Martin was trying to send a message to his old club. He had 7 points right out of the gate. Things were going well. So I think, what was it, 6 points, I think it was, from Jared McCain. He had some things going for himself as well. All right, let's go. Then in the second quarter, they build that 19-point lead. And then somebody put a quarter in Jimmy Butler, and then it was not the same game after that. Jimmy Butler had 30 points last night on 13 shots. That's the anti-Iverson. He was 13 of 13 from the free throw line. The Sixers went through a period with from about the 7-minute mark of the second quarter to the beginning of the fourth quarter where they just forgot how to play basketball. They forgot how to make baskets, and it was clank after clank after clank. And on the other side of the court, down the other end, there was no lid on that basket. And there was no lid on that basket, especially for Tyler Hero in that game, in that quarter, especially in the third. And that's where the Sixers just looked dead in the water. And what was wild about this game is that at the end of the second quarter, the Sixers withstood the barrage. They were still leading by 3. They were up 19. The lead had been cut to 3. I referenced it earlier, but it was a 19-5 run by Miami. They started the quarter. The Sixers were up at the beginning of that quarter, 33-25, all right, after the first quarter. Then it was cut to 53-42, or should we, 53-49, so it was cut to a 4-point lead after the Sixers were up 19 in the second. And then by the close of the first half, it was 56-53. They were up 19 points in that quarter. By the end of it, it was 56-53. They come out of halftime. Now, at half, Jared McCain had played 20 minutes. He had 12 points. Joel Embiid had played 15 minutes. He had 9 points. He had 9 points in the first half, people. I told you earlier, he finished with 11. Paul George, at the end of the first quarter, had 12 points. At the end of the second quarter, still had 12 points. So, start of the third quarter, Hero steps up, knocks down a 3, 53-53. It's tied right out of the gate. McCain answers back with a catch-and-shoot 3. They go up 60-56. Then Butler hits a 3. Heat go on an 11-0 run. They go on another 12-0 run later in the quarter. There was one point where Paul George was able to get a layup for the Sixers, made it 70-64. It's still in favor of Miami. Miami started out that quarter 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. And that was leading up to the 4:40 mark of the third quarter. Hero got to 16 points, as I mentioned, which is the exact total the Sixers had as a team in that quarter. And by the close, good Lord, 56-53 at the start of the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, 88-72. The script flipped completely. There was one glimmer of hope with this 76ers team in the game. And this goes along with what I was saying a little bit last week as far as Joel Embiid and Jared McCain playing together and whether or not Kyle Lowry is going to be your starting point guard when Joel Embiid's healthy enough to play and Paul George's healthy enough to play and all that. You saw a little miscommunication between Jared McCain and Joel Embiid. And I don't think it was as much miscommunication. Maybe the hesitancy of trying to make the play was a miscommunication. But in the first quarter, Joel Embiid is around the top of the key. He's at the foul line, between the foul line and the top of the key. And Jared McCain sees Jimmy Butler on him. And I don't know if he recognized that late or what, but Joel Embiid's calling for the ball. And if the big man's calling for the ball and he's in the game, you got to feed him the rock. So Jared McCain throws, I don't even know what to call it, a rainbow of a pass to Joel Embiid, who's 10 feet in front of him, and throws this rainbow that Jimmy Butler essentially jumps the route. Could Embiid have made a better effort? Yeah, I think he could have, but I don't know what the hell he was playing on last night. He looked like he had nothing. And Joel Embiid, the ball, it ends up being a turnover. Jimmy Butler goes the other way. They get the easy 2. And they call a timeout. They come out of the timeout. Jared McCain's on the bench. Joel Embiid's still in the game. Jared McCain ran with Jimmy Butler down to try to play defense. Meanwhile, Joel Embiid is just like throwing a little bit of a hissy fit out there. Like, okay, I don't know what he was saying, but it didn't look like it was positive. And I don't know if he was just pissed off that he was tired, if he was pissed off at Jared McCain for throwing a bad pass, pissed off at himself for not making enough of an effort. I took it as he was pissed at Jared McCain. So Joel Embiid, fee-fi-fo, thumbs off the court. He comes back after the timeout. McCain's on the bench. All right. But the one glimmer of hope that stems from this is in the fourth quarter, Embiid still playing in the game despite the Sixers being down 88-75. McCain, and that was after McCain knocked down a three early in the fourth quarter. There was a little two-man game that they were trying to develop between McCain and Embiid around the foul line extended on the perimeter, where McCain had the ball, went to Embiid. Embiid went back to McCain. McCain tried to get a quick shot off, didn't have it, had to force a bad pass to Embiid. Embiid then ended up throwing it up, and it called for a foul on the floor, and the Sixers went side out of bounds there. Then they ended up turning it over on a 5-second violation. But in the middle of all that craziness, Joel Embiid and Jared McCain trying to figure out each other's timing. As this season goes on, those two are obviously going to know how to occupy the same space. And what I really enjoyed about just the attempt there was I remember Tyrese Maxey coming into the league. And Jared McCain is in a much different situation because Jared McCain's a rookie, just taken 16th overall out of Duke after his 1 year at Duke. Jared McCain is given a much different opportunity than Tyrese Maxey was given. And Maxey was put into more of a submissive role when he was here. And granted, it was a much different roster. So I don't know how good Maxey was when he came into the NBA. I know that we have seen him get a lot better, but we've also seen him get a lot more runway and a lot more leeway with a lot more room to grow and show just how good he is. And he has matched that. Every single year he has taken huge steps forward to the point where he's been an all-star and most improved player in the NBA. But Jared McCain, I will say this, he will not be put in a submissive role. And I know that Maxey came in here, different things and different team and different personalities and different era, different head coach, whole thing. So it's different. So I'm not comparing the two as far as that goes. But as far as the mentality, Jared McCain does not suffer fools. Jared McCain does not go out there timid and looking to be submissive. Does he want to get people involved? He certainly wants to get people involved. But watching him go out there, I think him and Maxey are going to find a great rhythm together, a phenomenal rhythm together. And I'm going to be interested to see how this center-based team, one of two in the NBA, how this center-based team is going to react to two guards that will eventually figure out how to play with one another. So Embiid and McCain trying to get on the same page last night, obviously that's going to help everything. But seeing McCain do that with Joel Embiid last night and Embiid go back and respond with McCain the way he did, it's only going to help if the big man is encouraging this whole, God forbid, process of the maturation of these two young point guards playing together. It's only going to help if Joel Embiid is a champion of that cause. Now, I don't know what the hell happened after. Oh, look, I don't know what happened. Oh, I know what happened in the game. No defense. Couldn't make a basket, lethargic. So when you don't have energy and you're not scoring points and you're not hitting buckets and Joel Embiid looks like crap, you're not going to win that game. And sure enough, they didn't win that game. After the game, I'm looking. Usually the way I'll do the postcast, right? 30 minutes after the game, or not, 30-minute show after the game. And I'll be like looking for, what did Nick Nurse say about this? What did anybody anything? I'll be scouring social media, see who posted what from the locker room, and there's nothing. I'm like, oh, that's a little strange. Whatever. So then I get done, I wrap, and then I got to write a little synopsis of the show, right? And I'm like, there's Nick Nurse hasn't spoken yet. There's nothing from Nick Nurse. I DVR, my friend Amy Fadul and Mark Jackson and Coach Lynham, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're waiting to go to him too, and they're not going. What? He's not talking yet. They're alluding to Nick Nurse not talking yet. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I see, I forget who it was. Someone I don't follow, but I saw that Keith Pompey retweeted it, and it was an hour after the game, and still no one has addressed the media. Not a complaint, by the way, just a report. And I'm like, that's interesting. And I was like, team meeting? Somebody getting fired? I've maintained that Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey are not getting fired. So I'm like, am I about to have egg on my face? Finally, over an hour after the game, Nick Nurse addressed the media. And here's how Nick Nurse sounded when he addressed the media right out of the gate.
Hey, we just had a little meeting. So I just took a little bit longer than normally get here. Won't get into specifics of that meeting, but happy to answer any questions about the game.
Hey, we just had a little meeting.
Hey, we just had a little meeting.
Yeah, how'd that go? How was that? How was that, Nick? How'd that meeting go? Did it go well? So, surprisingly, the first question was not about the meeting. The first question, I think, was, I don't know, just about the team's overall effort. Anytime a coach, for all the kids out there, when a coach says we're not going to talk about the meeting, okay, then that's them not wanting to talk about the content of the meeting. Content of the meeting. So wisely, one of the reporters, and I forget who it was, but or I couldn't recognize the voice rather. She says, "Hey, I know you don't want to get into the context of the meeting or content of the meeting, but can you just give us why you felt this was the time to have the meeting, Coach? 2-11, embarrassing loss. Well, these are now my words. 2-11, embarrassing loss like that, blowing a 19-point lead, getting matched score-wise in a quarter as a team versus a whole one player for the Miami Heat. All right, anyway. So why now, Nick?
Actually, just talk some things out, or just kind of.
Yeah, I just again, it's like a lot of the similar what I just said there. Just like there is again, like the defense. There's a lot of good things happening out there defensively. Even considering we're playing at such a disadvantage, like we're playing against transition so much, yet there's still a lot of good communication, good schemes, etc. Things happening, right? And again, I'm just trying to reiterate those things, and just trying to reiterate some of the things we need to improve on, just offensively. Moving the ball, staying with execution, some of those kind of things, and getting these guys to believe that they're better shooters and better scorers than they're showing right now, and we need them to step up and do that.
Oh, okay. So it was to inspire confidence. That's an hour to inspire confidence. Okay, all right. All right. Does Nick Nurse feel like it's going to be received well, the message in the meeting?
I mean, we can only ever find out until we play another game, right? We can only ever find out till we get to practice and see what the level of focus and energy is like, and then when we get to a next game. But yeah, I think they were very attentive and very communicative.
Very communicative. That's it. All right. So here's my thing. I don't know what was said. I haven't seen anything leaked out. Joel Embiid was asked, I think, by Kai Carlin about what went on. Can you give us anything on the meeting? And he was like, we had a meeting. So he played it close to the vest, as he should. All right, that's good. I don't want things leaking. If the coach says he didn't want people talking about it, people don't talk about it, that's a great thing. So Joel Embiid didn't offer any information. I assume if you're Nick Nurse, you're going to need some of the guys that are the more veteran players to take over that leadership role if they haven't already. I'm going to assume that if you're Nick Nurse and Joel Embiid is feeling ill but tells you who he wants to play, I would assume if you're Nick Nurse, then you're going to look at Joel Embiid to have somewhat of a decent game. Not 31 minutes, which is good. 11 points, which is bad. And also, never going to the foul line. Joel Embiid has never played in an NBA game more than 25 minutes or more. He's never played in an NBA game before last night and not gone to the free throw line. That happened for the first time last night. 31 minutes, 11 points, 0 points coming from the free throw line. That's a guy looking to stay away from some contact. You know what I'm saying? You are all about the camera now, young lady. Oh, did you miss mommy and daddy when they were away? Oh, sweetie pie. All right, come here. So, what do you think about Joel Embiid's performance last night? That is what I thought. But someone who was the star of the week at school. Did you work on your poster board with Tay? That's nice. So go ahead, say good morning. Don't just be nice. Yeah, give a big yawn just like that, and then say good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, sweet. I love that you have your Christmas pajamas on. You have Nutella gelato on your pajamas from last night. Because you crushed it. That's why. No, I'm proud of you. You crushed Nutella gelato. Somebody had late Nutella gelato last night, okay? Mommy and Daddy got back from vacation, a little weekend trip, a little vacation, and then, it's hard to say no. All right, funny faces. Scoozy.
My color.
Yes, hold on. I don't have any pens down here.
Your pencil there.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. The cat's in the desk. I don't know. All right. The show's off the rails, folks. So Joel Embiid is addressing the media, or not addressing the media, or addressing the media last night. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so yeah. If you're Nick Nurse and you're going to expect your MVP caliber center to play, I would expect that you would want him to play at a little bit of a better level than what we saw last night. It's twofold. I love the fact that he played. I don't love the fact that he played and looked like that, because that means they shouldn't have let him play. If he's sick and he's also trying to play himself into shape, I would go ahead and assume it's not a good time to have him out there. And by watching him, that kind of confirmed it. My sources that he should not have played last night, very simple. My eyes and a guy that looked completely out of it. 100% completely out of it. So the Sixers, look, we're going to see what happens with Tyrese Maxey today. He's going to get reevaluated. They've been hopefully can take the next step forward. I would doubt very much that it's going to be evaluated today. He plays tomorrow against the Grizzlies in Memphis. I would doubt that's going to be how that all unfolds. I hope, crossing my fingers, best case scenario, that Tyrese Maxey gets cleared to ramp up the next step of his rehab. That's what I hope happens. But that's going to all hopefully take place today. And then he gets back in the lineup maybe by Friday. So cross our fingers for that. One more time, just from Nick Nurse.
Hey, we just had a little meeting. So I just took a little bit longer than normal to get here. Won't get into specifics of that meeting, but happy to answer any questions about the game.
Hey, yeah. 2-11. By the way, I still maintain that the Sixers are making the playoffs. I know people think I'm crazy, but I still think the Sixers are making the playoffs, right? There we go. Oh, April thinks you could have scored more points than Embiid in 15. All right, scored at least 15 in 30 minutes. I think you could have scored 15 points in 30 minutes. You don't want to play basketball, though.
Yeah,
And you're ginormous. You do want to play basketball?
I don't.
You don't want to play basketball. You're ginormous. You would dominate the boards. All right. So last night or yesterday, Nick Sirianni addressed the media. I found this very interesting. I didn't know this until Ruben Frank pointed it out. But during the press conference yesterday, Ruben Frank pointed out that with the Kansas City Chiefs losing to the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City, yes, the Philadelphia Eagles have the best road record since 2021. I did not know that. Ruben Frank points it out. Since 2021, they moved past the Chiefs after they lost to the Bills for the best road record in the NFL. Nick Sirianni was asked about that, and he said, focus plays into that. The great fan base, he shouted out the fan base traveling around to all these games to support the team. That went out there as well. That was pretty wild. So we gave a big hat tip to that. But there was a couple of other things that he talked about And the first thing I want to talk about is the Jalen Carter situation this year. And what we have seen, not to make it sound negative, but the Jalen Carter's season to this point. When Jalen Carter got here, I remember Nick Sirianni talking about him in his first mini camp, and people were talking about his conditioning. Jordan Davis fell into the same category, talking about conditioning. When you have 2 first-round picks that are supposed to be impact players that are supposed to eventually take over for the likes of Javon Hargrave, obviously Fletcher Cox, and see what those guys are doing, and take that to the next level and be the next guys, the heir apparents, if you will, then you want to know that they're taking their craft seriously. And this year, it has certainly looked like Jalen Carter is taking his craft seriously, becoming one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. So Nick Sirianni was asked about him yesterday, about the level of play that he is getting to this season, and talks about how the hard work and conditioning has really factored into it. And the question was, I think it was from Chris Franklin. He asked the question, we've seen what Jalen Carter has done on the field. What has he done off the field that has gone into the production we have seen this year?
Chris, to play every play that he played, I think it shows you how good a shape he's in, and how that's cardio, that's physical, that's so many different things. Like, that's eating the right things, the nutrition. And so again, like, it wasn't like 66 sloppy plays, right? He made an impact on that game. You guys saw it. And he hustled every single play. I mean, you have to be in phenomenal shape to be able to do that. So I think as far as, off the field, you really notice the time that he's put into the weight room, put into his body, and it's really showing up on Sundays.
When you see him go out there and talk about, or when you see Jalen Carter go out there and do his thing, you see him go out there and you see him dominate. And one of the things that really amazes me for a guy, especially his size, usually the phrase high motor is reserved for defensive ends that just don't quit. You know, Bryce Huff was once described as that before he fell off the face of the earth with the Eagles. But we've heard that. We even talked about back in the day with our old friend Hugh Douglas. We've heard it talked about guys with Trent Cole even. These guys just don't stop. They don't ever stop. Jalen Carter doesn't stop. He is always, it's not just he's taking like sometimes you might see a guy, he's taking a play off where he's just, squaring up against the guy, making it look like he's working hard, whatever. He is relentless. This word gets thrown around a bunch. Relentless. You see him chopping his feet. You see him waving his hands. You see him trying swim moves. You see him trying bull rushes. And this is all in the effort to get through a double team or the rare occasion, a single, one-on-one blocking. And he's out there doing it every single play. And to see him go out there and do it at the clip that you've seen him do it at this year of being out there for, 90% of the snaps, it seems like, you see him go out there and do exactly that each and every time. And Jalen Carter going out there and doing that this year shows you the immense step forward he has had when it comes to conditioning and how serious he is taking his talent. And I know that was a question. I know a lot of people had those questions in the early goings when he just got here to Philadelphia. And then this year you see the dedication to the craft. And that to me is something special. And that's what you're seeing this year with Jalen Carter. And that's what I love seeing. When you talk about a guy with his conditioning, by the way, if you look at his snap counts, 81% of the snaps is what he's playing defensively this year. 81% of the snaps defensively. That's a 30-point uptick from last year. 30 percentage points. That's pretty special. And that's a guy taking the craft seriously. The other thing that we got into, or that he got into during the press conference, was the idea of letting somebody else punch it in at the goal line as opposed to just calling the quarterback sneak or the tush push, the brotherly shove, whatever you want to call it, whatever your fancy is. For me, I don't want my quarterback continuously doing that. I'd rather just, hey, running back, go punch it through. Nick Sirianni was finally asked why they don't do that. And that's actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah, that's a good question, Zach. I think, yes, you are always compelled to do, you always think about that. I think one thing we think about a lot in the red zone, without getting giving out too much information, Zach, because I want to answer your question and be respectful of your question. Like a quarterback sneak, it's tough to lose yardage there, right? So when you come out and the worst thing that you can do in red zone football is move backwards, right? That's one of the worst things that can happen there and put you behind the sticks. You always want to stay ahead of the sticks because things get harder and tighter down there as you move down in there. So we've had a lot of success with the quarterback sneak. Jalen scored a lot of touchdowns, and so there are times where, again, I want to be careful how I'm answering this, but I want to answer your question. But I think that's probably the best way I can say that.
Yeah, basically, we're not going to lose yards. Look, I always thought the explanation would be, well, we're just so successful with doing it, we're just going to keep doing it. If we have a play that's damn near guaranteed to work, then we're just going to use the play that's almost guaranteed to work. Now, are there going to be instances where maybe it doesn't work, i.e. Jacksonville Jaguars game? Yes, then there's going to be instances where it doesn't work. But his overall point is it's not just the fact that it seems to always work. It's also the fact that we're not going to lose yards. Not only are we almost guaranteed to get the touchdown, but we're also almost guaranteed to not lose 2 yards. We're not going to hand the ball off, even if we do set up in the single, the single back. We're not going to hand the ball to Saquon and someone's going to break through the line and stop them as opposed to the 1 yard line. They're going to stop them on the 4 yard line or the 3 yard line. We're not going to lose yardage there. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. I do, just from a temperature standpoint, I do feel bad when a running back has a long run. They get down there. I mean, Kenny Gainwell's even had runs this year where he's gotten down there. And then either Saquon will punch it in or they'll, of course, run the tush push. And then next thing you know, the Eagles already have 6 or 7 points. So that's something that you got to focus on. Yes. What? Wow. That's Daddy with a full head of hair. That's what that is. Here's what Monoliths just found. Here's what Little Touch just found. That is a picture that was taken of me. And a friend of mine gave that to me. That's my first trip to Italy. I am I am on a bridge called Ponte Vecchio. It means old bridge in Italian, and they sell gold on that bridge and jewelry. One day I'll buy you some jewelry on that bridge. How about that?
Yeah.
If mommy doesn't hog all of it. Anyway.
Can you make me a necklace?
Yeah, I'll get you a necklace. You want a necklace?
Also,
We got a couple of years. Your brother's got to get a little older for us to make that trip.
And also bracelets.
And a bracelet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I tell the people what you told me last night when Mommy and Daddy got back from Puerto Rico? And we got you gifts. What did we get you? We got you an E keychain with E on it, obviously. We got you a unicorn backpack. Okay.
And a unicorn and a mermaid squishy.
A mermaid squishy. Yeah. I thought there was something else. Oh, Mommy got you what, candies?
No, Leo got.
Oh, Leo got the candies? Okay, so you got 3 things. So she gets 3 things. She looks at us, she goes, what else you got? Yeah, what else you got? That's what you said.
I got.
No. Anyway. How about thank you?
Thank you.
She's a good kid. She's a doll. All right. Okay. I was talking about football, I think. Yeah, handed the ball to Saquon Barkley, but that's why they don't do it, because they just want to get the yards. Go figure. Before I go any further, the Jake Paul thing. The Jake Paul. Logan Paul, sorry. I don't hey, look, I'll watch a sideshow. Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. At least that was a fighter versus a fighter. One a tactical boxer, the other an MMA fighter, obviously. I was a huge Tyson fan. I was a kid when he was really coming up. Really respected the craft. My grandfather was a huge boxing fan. I got into it watching him. And Tyson was the baddest man on the planet. I mean, baddest man on the planet. I don't like. I followed boxing long enough to know that eventually it gets kind of sad, in most cases. Even George Foreman, who became this lovable guy that I got, not got to know personally, but got to know as the sports figure that he was. He became this lovable guy, and I knew him from beating Michael Moore. I knew him from the grill, obviously, the George Foreman grill. He had his own TV show for a minute. And I didn't even know the guy that fought Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, put her down, please. Put her down, please. Thank you. Yeah, it gets sad in most cases. With that being said, I didn't find it sad that Mike Tyson was fighting. Like he got paid. He was doing something he loves to do. He loves to box, and regardless if you got the gloves on and you're in the ring, you're boxing. Is it standard boxing? No, obviously not. It's a show. It's 100% a show. I don't know what the end game was of the show other than getting paid. Let's just take that out of it for a second. I have no doubt that Paul could have knocked him out. I have no doubt that Tyson, if he would have gotten one, if it went past the first round, it was going to be Paul's win. But for me, I just couldn't believe that he wasn't knocking him out. I think he absolutely carried him for 8 rounds. There were so many instances while I'm watching that fight that I'm just like, there's an opening. Even Tyson at 58 would recognize that there's an opening to knock him on his butt. Same thing for Paul. Where are you finding all these pictures of me traveling in my younger days?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's it. All right, you can go back to looking through them.
Okay.
So I don't know what people are like. It was fixed. It was scripted. I can't think of any other explanation as to why that would go 8 rounds, other than I don't know. Other than Jake Paul just deciding, yeah, I want to carry him. I don't want to knock out a guy who's my dad's favorite fighter. I don't know. But I know it was great numbers. I know it froze on Tyson's butt in the post-game locker room. But I don't know. People that want to just say it was scripted, I could see why. Because there was opportunities there for Jake Paul to knock him on his butt. He didn't. And I thought Tyson was going to come out a little bit more of the aggressor. And I guess his whole goal was to go 8 rounds, because that never happened. Never happened. And yeah, I think it was Rosie Perez during the broadcast that was like, why isn't Logan Paul just, or why isn't Jake Paul just finishing him? Yeah. Anyway, I saw Evander Holyfield wants to have a Tyson Holyfield 3. Yeah, if you're Evander Holyfield and you just watch that with Mike Tyson, you got to be thinking, all you got to do is dance around for 8 rounds and make $28 million. Yeah, okay. I'll do that. Cha-ching. Anyway. Yeah. Yes, sweetheart. Oh, that's Uncle Bennett and Aunt Audrey, Uncle Joe, me and your mom. That's Uncle Bennett's wedding.
Real?
I don't even know where these pictures are coming from.
I don't know where they're coming from.
All right, I got to do an ad read so I can buy you that good mac and cheese, okay?
Got it. I'd also make my list for Santa.
Oh, yeah. Get on that, too. It's not even Thanksgiving yet.
I need you to do it.
Okay.
Christmas because summer, fall.
All right, well, let's have a meeting about this later.
Okay, but still you have to do my Santa list.
Okay. She runs a tough ship, folks.
Yep.
Hey, let me tell you about the great people at the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app to your phone. Create an account, use promo code Farzi, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzi, get $20 off your first purchase. You want to go to a game? Want to go to a concert? Want to go to a comedy show? Download the Game Time app. Get $20 off your first purchase. Also, let's not forget about toggling the Game Time Picks feature, which allows you to filter out all the fluff so you get right down to it. You see the best prices and the best seats on the Game Time app. And what else does it do? You can also see Game Time feature. That's a bigger picture of the picture you already showed me.
I know, but I want to show it.
Thank you very much. The Game Time app, ladies and gentlemen, has it all right there. Also, the all-in pricing feature, you can toggle that feature, and you can see exactly what you're paying before you check out on the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app, use promo code FARZI, get $20 off your first purchase. Hey, how about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Let's get into the chat check. April, what's going on? How are you? April, hope you enjoyed the trip. Thank you, April. Sean Gillespie, good morning. How about them Cowboys? Oh, what was it? 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Cowboys trailing by 8, 10 maybe. Mike McCarthy kicks the field goal, makes the field goal, takes the point off the board, takes the points off the board, ends up turning the ball over on downs. Good times. Bye, boss. Sean Kilrain, good morning. I bet the porcelain doll has some rare thing of COVID. Oof. Yeah. Still don't understand why he'd play. Still don't understand why he'd play. Glad no one got hurt by the pieces falling from the roof, but man, yeah, that was another thing in last night's game at AT Stadium. Place is falling apart. Just get a curtain. Hope Embiid is enjoying his gold medal, says Sean Gillespie. Even Aikman was taking shots at the team. Yes, he was. WB Farzi. What's going on, Tate? Wine Niners Wine. What's going on? Good morning, Farzi and friends. 2-11 Sixers, 8, 9, and 2 Flyers. What the hell happened last night, Travis Konechny? Flyers 2 third-period goals. Still not enough. Still not enough to get the win. Tate, Embiid is overcompensating for his healthy scratches, possibly. Jason A, morning, everyone. I can't stand the Sixers organization anymore. Embiid is overcompensating. Sea sauce 2? Or just let Barkley snap. Oh, I just had some fantastic hot sauce in Puerto Rico. I got to order that on Amazon. It was fantastic. It had the rare combination of delicious flavor and heat. That's what I like. Nurse need to get out for real. Yeah, I don't think that's happening, Tommy Horn. Exciting ways. Farzi, good morning. Good morning. But hysterical. Calling that a fight is hysterical, right? Sean Kilrain, the fight was an absolute poop show, Farzi. The woman's bout was the better match. That was I watched a couple of rounds of that. And yeah, that was insane. The one lady was from Ireland. They interviewed her afterwards. I was like, I have no idea what she's saying. Get them to fight. Huh? Domination. What's going on? Good morning, Sean Gillespie. Don't even watch that fight. Didn't even watch that fight. I mean, it's one of those things that everyone's seen it, so I just feel like I should see it. And plus, I've seen so many videos of Tyson. Like, Tyson's training videos are insane. And I know it's not fighting. I know it's not being in the ring with someone trying to hit you. But that guy wasn't in the ring. Ugh. Can't get behind a bunch of mercenaries. Kyle Wright. What's up, Kyle? Team is trash. Exciting White Sixers are the Washington Generals of the NBA. Worst record in the NBA, by the way. Them and the Wizards. That's our lot right now. Yeah, the Jazz are 3-10. Pelicans are 4-10. Sixers 2-11, as are the Wizards. Raptors are 3-12, and the Sixers lost to the Raptors. They're still making the playoffs. Kyle Wright, how do you go up by 19 and lose by 17? It's hard to do, I know. Kyle Wright, half the team looks like they don't want to be there. I think think about the message you're sending your team. You guys go out there and play your asses off. But Joel Embiid, he needs time to ramp up. He's got time to go off in the off season, despite knee surgery in season, despite being hurt in the playoffs. He's got time to go play in the Olympics because he wants to go win a gold medal for a team that he's, doesn't have to do much for. Granted, to reiterate Joel Embiid's point, I don't have to do much for Team USA. They're pretty stacked. Yeah, you're right. But then not be ready for the regular season. Joel Embiid said something in that press conference before he played about wanting to win a gold medal. Nobody cares about the gold medal in the United States, but it means something to me. I'm like, no, we care. That's all we care about is the gold medal in the United States. Like, that's it or bust. Do what you're supposed to do. Go win the gold medal. Team America, Team USA. But then it's also at the same time, well, what about your teammates, Joel? What about winning for them? What about that city that has supported you? I know they're critics, but this city takes up for Joel Embiid. Through all the Nikola Jokic arguments, this city took up for you. So what about the city? Imagine being a player on that team. Imagine working in that office, and that guy just do whatever he wants. That's not. Look, no matter how many team meetings you had, there's no greater message, or how many team meetings you have, there's no greater message than Joel Embiid not playing. Oh, no, he gets to do whatever he wants. Oh, okay. Oh, and he got a 3-year extension. Okay. Exciting much. It's just hilarious. That's great. Hey, Farzia, Thanksgiving dinner, tell baby bro Nikki to give Shipley some more carries. He is older than me by a year, I think. Embiid, no effort of getting back. Farzia talking about the Sixers is like listening to Cowgirls fans' painful optimism. Did Nick Nurse say, yeah, he met with the media. Jared McCain is our savior. I absolutely love his game, man. Absolutely love that game. Embiid might be cooked. He might be. Actually, that thought's gone through my mind. Like, what if we've already seen the best of Joel Embiid? What if the MVP version of Joel Embiid is gone? Cue the Fangio bit. Ugh. Sixers had a team meeting. Ugh. There you go. Wait, Tate, what? Let's see Farzi pronounce your name. What, Exciting Whites? Good morning, little all the good mornings, little toots. That's nice. You guys are nice. Thank you, April. We need to see the cat. So the cat found its way into the desk somehow. There's a little opening, and the cat enjoys those like small spaces. Like she crawls behind the dishwasher. I didn't even know there was space there, but she does. When your boss says come in, and if you're that sick, then I'll send you home. Yeah, right? Hate the word ramp. So do I. Got to follow the Vic response. All right. Next time little Rory's down here, I'll make sure to put her on camera. Why Niners one? Need a chat poll. Who would be better game manager on the sidelines? Nick Soriani or Lil Toots? Farzi, is baby bro always ramped up like that? He is older than me. Paul Mancini. What's up, Paul? Embiid being rested for the postseason. Problem is the 76ers are making the playoffs. Brutal. Jay say Little Toots is a riot. She is. She's got great comedic timing. Farzi, her face is priceless. Well, her face is my face. So I'm told. But yeah. Just need to slap a beard. And we begged for the Sixers to stay in Philly. It says Maverick won. Ooh, Brian Pumper. Joel Embiid I think he's no longer an impactful player. Ah. I think he's still an impactful player. Cats are liquid. That's hilarious. Thank you, April. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. It's great to have you. Did I get everything? Yeah. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. I mentioned those flyers. TK abandoned. What did John Tortorella say? Listen, he abandoned the best player in the league to go chase someone who sucked. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. Tortorella's hilarious as per usual. But the Flyers last night went goalless up until the third period, and then they scored. They scored 2 goals in the third period. They lost 3-2 to the Colorado Avalanche. Their point streak snapped at 5, I think. 8, 9, and 2 on the season. That's the way that went down. Forrester and Tippett came up with goals. That's the way that one went. Yeah. They're back at it tomorrow night against the Hurricanes. They host them on TNT at 7:30. Sixers will hopefully get some great news regarding Tyrese Maxey today. And then they got the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow night at 8 o'clock in Memphis. So Sixers and Flyers back at it tomorrow night as well. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Wonderful to have you along for the ride as per usual. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow morning for the Farzy Show. And then tomorrow night, I'll be on Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channel. So make sure you guys check me out on Locked On Sports Philadelphia for your 76ers postcast. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Be back with you guys tomorrow morning. Hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Hit like and subscribe on the Jacob Media YouTube channel. Hit like and subscribe on the Seth Joyner Show YouTube channel. Hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Until then.
Hey, we just had a little meeting.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.